Natalie Hayden.
And I'm Laverne Badger.
And we are Expose the Podcast.
We're back. In effect.
All of that.
2024. Expose the Podcast.
Expose the Podcast. Oh my goodness.
Girl.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah.
We've been gone for a while, but we are truly.
So we looking a little different. How about let's address the elephant in the room.
No, hold on, no elephants just
we addressing. So y'all like this. Yeah. So for those of you who gonna catch our YouTube video, I'm sporting new hair.
What's her name?
I have not named her. We're gonna have to do an episode on transitioning, right? Transitioning looks and branding and all that. So that's something that's coming. But y'all ain't seen me like this before.
Now she's known for her top notch like specs. Like Laverne can.
You better say it.
Yeah, she. Now we just had a situation where I needed her to read something. And she didn't quite. I said, so those are just truly for fashion.
This is definitely because I can't look.
She couldn't see.
I have to put it on here, but I could not see. But your girl is dropping these blue gems, and so we are back 6th season. Oh well, I talked about my new look. Let's talk about Miss Fabulous and that new look and the lip is everything. So if y'all are listening, you might want to go on over to that YouTube because Natalie is giving us gorgeous model.
Well, I'm truly inspired by Sarah Jakes.
Yes.
I call it a Sarah Jakes hat.
Okay.
But with it being Black History Month, it's Black History Month 365.
Absolutely.
It's all year for us. But when you think about how women like us, we truly have very versatile looks. You just never know what you might get. Laverne might come in here decked out with all the SG row. And to the 9,
yes.
And
Shout
you just
out.
never know.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I truly love and appreciate is that there's just so much variety, and you can never get tired. You can't sleep on us.
Yes.
You can't sleep on
Yes,
it.
because you'll never know what you're going to get. Because you might catch that hat and that hoodie and all of that. But we're going to give you some good conversation. So that is not going to change, right?
Yes. So 6th season. This is our 2nd episode because we just had the conversation with youth.
Yes.
So today's
Facebook Live.
Yes, Facebook Live. If y'all have not checked out, make your way back. Where you could find that is through the City of Milwaukee Community Wellness and Safety, and we'll share it on our page. But they are the sponsors of that live, providing the youth as well too. So we really want to just big it up for the young people that came through and gave it their all, did their thing,
right?
So really, we just want to continue to have just a little bit of an isolated conversation about why was the youth's voice important? Like, why was it? Laverne, what were some things that we noticed? Even before that, and why we felt it was necessary to just have this.
So here's the thing for us. So if you guys have been following us at any time, you know that we started a curriculum around youth, specifically girls, but we expanded. And that's, you guys going to have to hear more about that. Check our next episode. But we started gearing into youth and youth girls. And when we would sit and have those conversations. So again, me and Natalie are moms, but at different times. Natalie is still parenting and co-parenting how old is Briley? 12. A 12-year-old.
A preteen.
Yes. And then I have adult children. So our experiences are different. So I would be listening to the girls and what they were saying. And as a parent of teenagers in the past, realized that there were some things that I missed, right? Mm-hmm. And what we were finding is that the biggest thing is that they were feeling like their moms or their parents were not listening to them. Mm-hmm. It was that they were hearing them. It was just like, she ain't listening. My mom don't understand me.
We're
that
speaking two totally different languages.
Right.
Here. But guess what? That can be very true, right?
It actually is very
It's
true
very
because I know if I had to think back, and this is me thinking back when was raising my kids and they were in school, I know, especially high school, it was just like, do what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm out here trying to put food on the table, shelter, all those things. That's the real responsibility. You just have to go to school and do these chores. But what I missed is what they're dealing with while they're at school.
And we learned about that just spending time and developing and cultivating relationships with these young ladies that truly allowed us to sort of sit at their table and understand some things.
Right.
And, so Laverne is listening for maybe some things she may have missed, but my ear is listening for like, ooh, how can I not?
Right.
How can
or adjust?
How can I adjust? How
right.
How can I not make sure that I don't miss the mark in that sense? And so really, the youth's voice is so important, and I'm learning this like real time.
Right.
Real time.
Right.
That's the aim.
And it has to be adjusted. Of course, there's no true blueprint. Every child is different, right? There's some things you take. So there's some good things about back in the past, how we were raised up. We keep some of those stuff, old school, right, parenting. But then there's some great new things that have come out that are more effective, right?
You know what they call it? Gentle parenting.
No, I don't know about that. See, here's what I think about this the whole term gentle parenting. To me, gentle parenting is, I feel it needs to be a combination of both, because gentle parenting can sometimes be too gentle, right? Kids will they will push the limits, right? To
that's what they're here to do, I believe.
That is, yes.
Their true design.
That is a muscle somehow that they start working as they grow to push the mark, right? So gentle parenting to me is, I think it's a great aspect because it slows down a parent to say, okay, let's start listening a little bit, giving them a voice. But then if your child starts to take advantage of that and not listening or then we got to go back to the old school. So I think it's a mixture of both. A blend.
We got to blend it.
Yes, we got to blend
it. Because sometimes gentle parenting goes all the way out the window.
Right. So I started with that. Now what you going to do? Right. So it's just like,
because the gentle parenting, it is great until it's not.
Until it's not. Right.
It works until it don't.
Right. It reminds me of timeout, right? Back in the day, it was the timeout. And I'm like,
but okay. Are you getting it?
Yeah. And so are they really? But I've seen timeouts work for certain toddlers and sometimes it doesn't. So again, it's still about picking and choosing certain things that will work for you and your household and your individual child. But what I will say is the overall sound that we kept hearing over the years and from the students is that they really just didn't feel like they were being heard.
Nothing is getting across.
It's not. And so
it's not reaching.
You can't and so then we as parents have to own, are we really listening? Are we just barking out orders and discipline? Are we really paying attention to what they are dealing with at school? And it's not intentional. We're not addressing their needs because we don't care.
So it's a level of grace, for one, that needs to go both ways. I feel.
Absolutely.
When we talk about like who were the youth talking to, like exactly, they're not just talking to the parents, but who else are they talking to?
Right.
They're talking to educators. They're talking to their peers and each other. They're talking to mentors, anyone that is a part of their village that will touch them. It'll give them some insight as to how to handle them,
Right.
and things to listen for. They're not always going to be vocal about it.
Right.
You're going to see some nonverbal things. So you got to pay attention to behaviors. And as we're sharing these things, I'm taking heed to it as well, too, because, we work with and we mentor, and also, we have our family.
Right.
Many of these things are landing right at our doorstep.
Right. Man.
Shoot. Doorstep. Hello, somebody.
Hey, kicking it in,
Yeah.
right? And you don't always have time to adjust. Things just tend to happen,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm saying that is why. So to answer your question that is why we decided that this was a great partnership. We were already kind of going down that lane. We knew that youth was going to be our focus this year, right?
Yeah.
And so with youth being our focus this year, it just so happens that the city was like, that's their focus. And
always.
And hence that live that you guys experienced last week. And so it was the jump start of hearing, listening. But then we have to make sure kids are hearing us too. So here's the thing is that we want to make sure as parents that we're listening to them. And then other peers are watching and listening to them, because they're going to be speaking what their peers are feeling and thinking, right? And
that influence.
Right, it's the influence. So we're trying to create a space where the influence is good influence, right?
Yes. I was listening to something. I was working out this morning, and in the morning,
is that? If y'all been with us a little while, you know who the one is that works out and which one that don't.
Listen,
Okay, girl.
It really is like it's my time that I spend with me and him. Like we hear, but. I was working out this morning and I was listening to a sermon, Cheryl Brady in North Texas. And she was saying, and we've been saying this as well too, but it just felt good to hear someone speak on relationships and how the blueprint and foundation of relationships is in the household.
Right.
And just think about what households are looking like today.
Right.
It's
a difference.
It's a total difference.
The pandemic changed.
And even before the pandemic, the dynamic of the family, and when you have young people who are truly, this is where they're getting the default of what a relationship should look like, we lose them. Or there has to be, like some accountability on our end where we say, okay, we may have missed the mark, but then that's where that village might come along and sort of just swoop in. And we're so thankful for our partners like Mesmer High School, Shanora Jordan, who is a true visionary. Like, let's pause on her.
That's a whole episode.
Yeah,
Shanora Jordan.
I mean, like a true visionary as to how she envisions, how she desires to see and have a culture in her school for her young people, and also not just them, but for the educators, for the parents. So this total wraparound. So even if the child comes from a non-traditional background, there's an opportunity for them to pick something up different, and relearn what a healthy relationship should look like. So that is a huge deal. So it's not over for anyone. Like we got a do-over. You know what I'm saying?
Right. For the most part,
we landed on, it was shaky in the beginning when we, in whatever relationships, but then we said, oh, okay, that's not the end all be all for me. I get to try again and again and again, because it's not just the romantic relationship.
Because God gives us
another chance.
Who am I not to?
Yeah.
Right. And so it's always that opportunity, and we just do the best that we can. So this is not our audience is. So if we were going to say who is our target audience, and I would say everybody. Because even if you're not a parent, you're an aunt, you're a cousin, you're a neighbor.
Yeah.
You're in the community with youth, and so it encompasses everybody to hear these conversations and be part of these conversations, because it's more than one solution, right? Mm-hmm. But we have to hear things from their side. I think we missed the mark in regards to including making sure certain people are at the table when we're trying to make change, right?
Yeah.
One, we can't talk about kids without men.
That's right.
We can't talk about, healthy children, young people, young adults without saying, where's dad? Where's that positive male figure? Where's that male community leader? We know that male figure has to be a part of the conversation, right?
Right.
And then we can't do it without the educators, where they spend most of their day
Time with. Yes.
We
yes.
can't, right. So we can't exclude anybody in part of these conversations. We need the specific individuals to come be at part of the table, because it takes all those components to create the healthiest individual, right?
Yeah.
Possible. And so we got some stuff to talk about.
I just thought about something like, I feel like there's one person or a group of people that we might miss when we're talking about youth and the image that has been portrayed about our youth.
Yes.
Those that may live on the outside and are spectators. Yeah. They just see, they hear about. And so I think it's also great for them to,
see a different. Is it media? What do you think? Is it media responsibility as well? So media
Absolutely.
should be, because they're the ones who we have to be responsible media folks, because social media itself, that's a whole problem based on young people and adults, right? But it gets pushed even quicker, the negative and the stereotypes of our young people. So when we see something positive or trying to do something positive with our youth, we have to put that same energy into pushing that product, pushing it on social media, sharing it, making it a part of your curriculum, making it part of bringing in specialized training and sessions and stuff. Like No More Mean Girls, give us a call. That will be Exposed Podcast. It ain't shameless, because this what we do, right?
Yep.
So if bringing in special programs that will help with that, because what we're doing is not unique. People have been doing this for forever, but I think where we want to make sure that we're doing is that program don't just sit at school. It needs to carry into when they leave school and go home.
Yep.
It needs to carry into if they get into their jobs. It has to carry into college when they go off to school. Then definitely carry into their relationships, right? It just can't be the program. We do these sessions. We pour this into them. And then it's not a handoff.
Yeah.
It should be some sort of a handoff. And I know, as you'll see as this year goes on, how we have we'll be partnering with a lot of individuals that do this work and are passionate about our youth and passionate about making a change and having things seen differently. And so I'm excited about this year. This is probably the most exciting I've been. This has been a trying year, 12 months. Because life be lifing, but this is for me, gives me this just continues to let me know that I'm sitting in my purpose, right? Because it feels good. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Of course, the behind the scenes, getting stuff ready, my earpiece falling out, girl, and new equipment. New equipment. But the heart of it has always remained the same.
Always.
It has always remained the same, and so we have not veered off to what our mission is, and that is education and prevention and awareness on healthy relationships. It used to be and how we evolved was just around relationships, DV, right? DV. Domestic violence, right? Domestic abuse. No, it's more than that, because there's a lot of unhealthy things. We are unhealthy platonic relationships, and so we're just gonna, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm excited about this. And so we just wanted to jump in here on our episode. And before we get out of here, if y'all noticing the background a little different, like we done did some stuff different around here.
It's a lot of newness, like new, everything new. Yes, everything is really new.
Yes, yes.
We have a new facilitator, engineer.
Yes.
We are part of the Podcast Town family.
Hey.
A Podcast Town. We're just so excited for the rebranding and the just newness that's going to come from this, and we do not stand alone. We have so many people that support us. Yeah. And we're so grateful, for one, to our families that allow us to do this.
Ooh, girl.
She said
it's only one of us, right? It's only one of us. But we be stretched thin sometimes, but you will see why it's worth it.
It's totally worth it.
It's going to be worth it.
So a few places you can find us. Where you can find us, for one, is Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. And Instagram and Facebook is Exposed with Laverne and Natalie. Those two handles are the same. YouTube would be Exposed the Podcast, Laverne and Natalie. Mm-hmm. And then you can just flat out go to our website, exposethepodcast.com. Yes.
And we will have it in the link in the YouTube bio. But if nothing else, go to our website and you will see all of that information. So,
yes, and that too will have a facelift after a while, but
everything getting a whole facelift.
Everything getting a whole facelift. Yes. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, there is a chat box on our website that you can check out, and it will come to either one of us, and we'll be able to just hit you guys up. But we're so appreciative of this.
I know. So we're going to let y'all go. And when you want to find out why we're more than a podcast, you will have to tune in
to the next episode. Listen, with that, I'm Natalie Hayden.
And I'm Laverne Badger.
And we are
Expose the Podcast.